Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're live on YouTube right now, of course, and I'm gonna make sure my camera angles are good and that everyone can hear me and see me clearly. That way, when we get started with the 7-day fruit and salad challenge, we're all in a good position to see clearly and to hear everything. So I welcome you guys for joining us. I got everything I need here. We have our fruit and salad ebook here as well. And I'm gonna get started in just 1 second. So I appreciate all you guys for tuning in for day 1 of the fruit and salad challenge. And if you can hear me clearly, put a 1 inside of the chat. If you can see me clearly, put a 1 inside of the chat as well. That way we can go ahead and get started and just go ahead and tackle today with the 7-day fruit and salad challenge. And I'm gonna make sure I adjust this camera a little bit more. That way the visuals are not too crazy. Y'all forgive me. There we go. That's a little better. All right, so it looks like everyone can see, everyone can hear, so that's cool. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. So welcome to day 1 of the fruit and salad challenge. We've all been anticipating this for the last couple days, but wait no more. It's time to dive right into this challenge and understand the essential vitamins and minerals that regulate our blood pressure and the foods that we can consume to actually get them. So before we dive into the fruit and salad challenge, I want to talk about the origins of the fruit and salad challenge to begin with and kind of take you into the history of it a little bit, and then we'll dive right into our topic. Before we get going, if you have your fruit and salad challenge ebook and you have a second device, you can easily just pull it up on your second device as we go through this whole process. That way you can kind of follow along. Because one thing that I've learned over the years is that when you're watching something and you're also reading and following along, you tend to retain the information a lot better. So if you have a second device, feel free to grab it right now and we could dive right into this whole process. So I've been doing this 7-day fruit and salad challenge for the past couple years. I want to say since 2020, 2021, during that time frame. We've been running this challenge for quite some time, and it's been focused on helping individuals just understand those essential minerals, not just for the blood pressure, but for the body as a whole. Because when it comes down to healing, you want to make sure that you're focusing on rebuilding your health, and this requires that you nourish your whole body. So the fruit and salad challenge has been going on for the last couple years, and I've been doing it seasonally, doing the spring edition, which we're doing right now, the summer, the fall, and the winter. And doing it seasonally, it allows individuals to continue to be consistent during this process. And the spring and salad challenge, the fruit and salad challenge is stage 1 or step 1 of the 6 challenge series that we have that helps you understand the root cause of your blood pressure issues while implementing the tactics and strategies to overcome this problem. So this series is going to last for 7 days, and we're going to be talking about the different tactics and strategies. Those of us that have our ebook already, you've been able to see the foods or read about the different minerals, but now we're going to go into a little bit further detail to understand those things. Because one thing that I've learned is this: when it comes down to teaching and training are 2 different things. So this fruit and salad challenge is all about the training and implementing of the different tactics and strategies. And it's also going to lean into the teaching aspect, because when you learn more about what you're dealing with, now you're in a better position to overcome those challenges and be a lot more firmer in your steps towards correcting these issues. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull out our ebooks, and we're going to dive right into it. So I'm going to begin with going back over the challenge details. I sent out the orientation email to everyone, as well as the ebook as well. And all these things contain the breakdown of what the challenge looks like. But I'm going to go back over it, and if anyone have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. But I'm going to go back over the challenge to make sure that we all have an understanding of how the challenge works, how it operates, and how to ensure that you're getting the best results as you move forward through this process, because it's all about results. This is a results-driven challenge. We're not just doing it for the sake of it. We're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to get off the medication, right? So we're trying to work on getting the results that we need, but it's important that we follow the instructions. That way you can set yourself up for the best success. So when it comes down to it, the goal of the fruit and salad challenge is not to be a restrictive challenge. And what I mean by that is this. The fruit and salad challenge doesn't mean that you have to stop eating certain foods and only consume fruits and salad during this time period. Although that's beneficial, but it's not about being restrictive. This is only about implementing or consuming more of the health promoting foods. This is step one of correcting your blood pressure issues. Implementing more of the health promoting foods. That way you can get accustomed to the foods that you need to consume as you move forward on this journey. So it's not a restrictive challenge. So don't feel like you're restricted, you're handcuffed from eating this and eating that. The only thing that I would say that you should stay away from are the processed foods and the highly refined foods and the high sodium foods and things like that. That way you don't go against what the nature of this particular challenge is all about. That's where you don't go against the nature. Stop. That way you don't go against the nature of what this particular challenge is all about. So understanding that it's not restrictive, but you want to make sure that you're doing two things. You want to make sure that you're eating 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits, as well as 1 large salad each and every day. And it's for the duration, the whole 7 days. 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits and 1 large salad. Now these fruits can be a combination of whatever type of fruits that you prefer. Inside of the ebook, we have a direct list that are the most beneficial, but the main goal is to eat a variety of fresh fruits, 3 to 5 servings. So when you get a variety of fresh fruits, this gives you different assortments of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we're going to break down as we get into the challenge. That way you can understand exactly what's going on and what they're doing. So the 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits and that 1 large salad each and every day, those are things that you're adding into the mix of what you're doing. And when it comes down to your 1 large salad, your 1 large salad should be a simple salad that's based off of the greens that we have listed, which are either kale, arugula, spinach, Swiss chard, or beet greens. Those are 5 greens that you can choose from. The best way or the best option to consume them is by taking a combination of those. Pick maybe 3 of the ones that you like and take a combination of them. So let's say 1 cup of beet greens, 1 cup of Swiss chard, and 1 cup of kale, and put that inside of your bowl and create that salad base. And the reason you're taking that approach is because this gives you a variety of nutrients and minerals at the same time. You're getting the minerals from the kale, the Swiss chard, the arugula, whatever ones that you decide to choose. You're getting an abundance of minerals that's going to flood the body with nutrients that the body's going to be able to assimilate and use the way that it needs to help you when it comes to regulating your blood pressure. So understanding that following this guideline, this means that you don't want to just have a plain romaine lettuce salad or whatever type of salad. You want to actually get those greens that are listed inside of the ebook. That way you can get the most bang for your buck when it comes down to correcting your blood pressure issues. Now, when it comes to the limitations of the challenge, these are some very key points as well. When it comes down to your fruits, you don't want to consume your 3 to 5 servings of frozen fruits in the form of a smoothie or frozen fruits or any packaged or canned items either. You just want the fresh whole food in its natural form. That's going to be the best way to consume them. And when it comes down to your salad, you want to make sure that you're not using the store-bought salad dressings. And that's why we included these salad dressing recipes inside of the ebook, because the salad dressing recipe is full of salt, oil, sugars, and it's highly processed, and it goes against the nature of what we're trying to do. So eliminating those processed foods and that store-bought salad dressing is a big part of this process. And we're going to go into further details as we move through the challenge. And when it comes down to the toppings on your salad, it needs to be all raw toppings. You want to make sure you're using fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, fresh nuts and seeds, or all those other raw toppings. You don't want to have any grains, any beans, any proteins, or any cheese and things like that on top of it. You want to make sure it's a fresh vegetable salad, because our goal is to build up our nutritional storages, and you do that by eating more of those whole foods in their raw forms. So we're adding these things to our diet, and this is going to allow for our body to start to kick into gear and get those nutrients that it needs to help build itself up to properly regulate that blood pressure. So 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits and 1 large salad each and every day through this process. And the main thing to help with the accountability that we're doing is we're taking our blood pressure twice per day, once in the morning when you wake up and once before dinner. And we're also taking a picture of the foods that we're consuming. That way we can actively participate in this healing process. One thing I can tell you is this: the individuals that fail to participate, they tend to not make it far through these types of challenges because they think, okay, well, I'm gonna just do it, but I'm not gonna take the picture, or I'm not gonna be consistent with my blood pressure, or I'm not gonna document the journey. Documenting the journey is half the battle, probably even more of it, because when you document your journey, you get to know where you're at and understand where you're going. You get to see what tactics and strategies are working, what's not working. And this, if you don't know what's working, there's no way you can double down and get better results by doing more of the things that are working. So understanding that participation is key. You must be a participant in your own healing process. And these types of challenges are built for accountability, and they're structured to allow you to have that accountability and guidance to get to the end goal, which is to correct your blood pressure issue. So I highly suggest that you participate in the process of this challenge by being in the Facebook group, uploading those pictures. And even if you don't want to upload the pictures and have your face out there, you can always do it anonymously. That way, until you get comfortable with what you're doing, you can just keep moving forward. So there's many ways to participate, but I highly encourage that you actively participate, because active participation will allow for you to be more consistent to get where you need to be. So with that being said, again, those were all the basic instructions for this challenge. And this is the entry-level day one challenge that we have. This is the entry-level day one challenge that we have, and it's a part of the 6 series of challenges to understanding blood pressure. And this whole week, we're going to be diving right into it. So one last thing about the fruit and salad challenge is this: when it comes down to this process, this is a strategy that we're going to continue to build on. Like, you're not just going to eat fruits and salad for 7 days and think it's going to fix your blood pressure. It doesn't necessarily work like that. You're going to see some results. You're going to get some benefits. You're going to start to even feel better, but it's not going to fix the problem. But as we start to double down and move into the next challenges, we're going to compound these different strategies on top of each other and build ourselves up. So let's say we start with the fruit and salad challenge, and we're eating these fresh fruits and whole foods and building our nutritional storages. The next challenge, which is the pressure purge challenge, we're going to be purging and pulling those things that are problematic and understanding the substitutions to allow us to continue getting better. And this follows a model that I built, which is based off of gradual progression. We're going to gradually progress to getting better. And as you document your journey through this series, you're going to see the results. You're going to see what's working. You're going to feel the difference. And this is how you work towards getting to the root cause of the problem. So with that being said, time to dive into the fruit and salad ebook. And if you have your ebook with you, go ahead and pull it out, and we'll just tag along, and I'll let you know exactly where we're going to start from. I kind of went over the challenge instructions already, so there's no need to go back through how the challenge works. So we're going to skip most likely all the way to the minerals section. That way we can start talking about these different nutrients, these different minerals, and the role that they play. And then again, you're going to also see those. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a little closer. You can see the different recipes inside of the book. This one has the lemon tahini dressing. I saw a few people post that one. The creamy avocado line. Some individuals were posting their dressings and things. Continue to build those dressings and toggle with them. Find out what you like. Find out what you don't like. Experiment with these different foods and create those flavor profiles, because as you progress on these journeys, they're going to come in handy, and they're going to be part of your supporting tools to help you get where you need to be. So here we go. We're going right to this section, understanding minerals. So I'm gonna give you guys just a second to get to this section, and we're gonna go right into understanding minerals. And I saw a couple questions come in, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer a few questions, but we're gonna go right in. And again, you can expect this live video to be over at about 8:30. I like to spend like an hour. I don't want to take too much of your time. So it'll be over roughly 8 o'clock, 8:30, and it will be recorded. So if you do have to leave out or can't finish it up, it's gonna be recorded, saved on YouTube, and put in a nice folder where you can just go back, get it, and refresh yourself and understand more and more about this process. So any questions, feel free to drop them in and keep going. Joseph says his fruit and salad challenge ebook didn't open. And the main thing, I did send out a broken link on the second day. But the first email and all 6 other emails, even the email that came to you to notify you about this live video, all contain the ebook. So if your challenge, if that link you first opened on the first day I sent them out, the second day I sent them out, you have multiple other emails that contains this same tool as well as everything else that was sent out. So simply check your email, click on that link, check your spam folder. All of them have been sent out multiple times. So nobody should be without an ebook as well. And a few other things, what I see. All right, so I see a few other questions, but I'm going to go ahead and get started and we'll get right back to those, okay? So we're at understanding the minerals, and we're going to begin with potassium. We're going to start with potassium because by far, when it comes to potassium, this is the most important mineral when it comes to regulating your blood pressure. Potassium, although all the minerals play an essential role, potassium is just that mineral that's the stronghold. A potassium deficiency will give you blood pressure issues no matter what other problems that you may have. And when you correct the potassium deficiency, most people blood pressure issues go away. So understanding potassium is a big part of it. And I'm going to read down and go through the basics of potassium. That way we can understand how it works, what's going on, and what we need to do when it comes down to the strategies and the implementation of the foods to help us correct this type of problem. So potassium, as an essential mineral, plays a significant role in management of high blood pressure. It is involved in various physiological processes that contribute to cardiovascular health. Let's explore the role potassium plays in managing high blood pressure in more details. Number 1, the sodium and potassium balance. I speak about this quite often because this is a key component in high blood pressure. Sodium, commonly consumed as salt, is a mineral that can contribute to high blood pressure. Excessive sodium intake leads to fluid retention, increased blood volume, and elevated blood pressure levels. For individuals with hypertension, reducing sodium intake often proves beneficial. Maintaining a balance between sodium and potassium is crucial for optimum cardiovascular health. However, modern diets tend to be high in sodium and low in potassium, creating an imbalance that can contribute to high blood pressure. To effectively manage blood pressure, it's recommended to increase potassium intake while reducing sodium consumption. Now, this brings us back to the strategies inside of the challenge. We talked about eliminating those processed foods. The majority of the excess of sodium that many people is consuming comes from those processed items. And if you can eliminate all those prepackaged, frozen, canned items, those processed foods from the diet, you're going to eliminate about 80% of the excess sodium that you may be consuming. So understanding that, okay, I'm going through this process, let me rid myself of these processed foods. This is going to open a door for those potassium-rich foods to start taking control and bringing that balance back to the body. When that sodium level is up, we tend to eat more processed foods and less of the whole foods. And when it's less of the whole foods, that potassium level tends to be lower. So the strategies that we're implementing where we're eating these fresh fruits and salads for the next 7 days, it's going to allow for us to build the potassium storages up. Potassium levels start to rise, and potassium works in opposition of the sodium. So as you consume more potassium-rich foods, the sodium levels start to balance out because potassium, it acts as a natural diuretic. So if you're taking a water pill or hydrochlorothiazide, potassium works in the same nature of pulling and eliminating excess sodium from the body while also softening the walls of the blood vessels, creating a smoother blood flow. So eating more whole foods builds the potassium levels up and it brings down the sodium levels. And at the same time, while you're eliminating the excess sodium coming in, it helps this process go faster. And this is one pathway. It's not the only pathway with blood pressure issues, but this is just one pathway that we're focusing on. And this brings the sodium levels down, increases the potassium levels, and now once they become balanced, they can continue to balance each other out because you do need sodium for many functions in the body as well as potassium, but they have to be balanced when it comes to regulating your blood pressure. Counteracting sodium effects. Potassium helps counterbalance the effects of sodium in the body. While sodium promotes fluid retention and raises blood pressure, potassium works to counteract these effects. By increasing potassium levels, you can mitigate the negative impact of sodium on blood pressure regulation. To maintain a healthy sodium and potassium balance, it is advised to limit the sodium intake by reducing the consumption of processed and packaged foods, which tend to be high in sodium. Simultaneously, incorporating potassium-rich foods in your diet, such as fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, and nuts, can effectively support healthy blood pressure levels. By understanding and maintaining the delicate relationship between sodium and potassium, you can take proactive steps towards maintaining a healthier blood pressure and overall cardiovascular well-being. Now, what we will do as we continue through the journey, we're going to talk more about the sodium-potassium pump and how everything is so intricately connected. And this will give you a better understanding. But right now, through this challenge, it's all about understanding what to do. Because when you understand what to do, you can start implementing. And then when we're going through the training process. You're going to get trained on what to do and start implementing. And then as we move forward and progress, we'll start the teaching aspect so you can know why you're doing it. I don't want you to just do it because some guy on YouTube said do it. I want to also teach you the why behind it. That way you can understand your healing process. You can develop the confidence behind this process, and you can also actively communicate with your doctor to help them know that you're learning what's going on, and this is how you're getting the results that you're getting. And as you're documenting your journey as you go through, you're able to show and prove what you're doing, show how you're getting your results, and this is part of the tools that's going to help you get off of these prescription pills. So next up is number 2, vasodilation. Potassium aids in relaxing the walls of the blood vessels, promoting vasodilation. The dilation helps to lower blood pressure by reducing resistance to blood flow and improving circulation. Now, that excess sodium, we talked about the sodium-potassium balance. So the excess sodium causes the blood vessels to stiffen and harden. And when it stiffens and hardens, they're not relaxed enough, so the heart has to pump a lot harder to get the blood through the blood vessels. That sodium comes in, it removes the potassium comes in, it removes that excess sodium, and it softens those blood vessels. Those blood vessels start to soften, and they're able to dilate a lot better. When they're able to dilate and widen better, now the blood can flow through a lot smoothly, and it's more elastic, making a smoother blood flow. So potassium is one of those essential minerals that's needed, and eating these whole foods in their raw form specifically provides you with that potassium that's going to be so beneficial for the blood pressure. And we talked about how the sodium and potassium work together and how sodium works as a natural diuretic, eliminating it. This is where the sodium excretion comes in. Potassium stimulates the kidneys to excrete excess sodium through the urine. By increasing potassium levels, you can support the elimination of sodium, thereby reducing fluid retention and blood pressure. Number 4, arterial health. Adequate potassium intake has been associated with improved arterial health. It may help prevent the thickening and hardening of the artery walls, which can contribute to hypertension. And that goes because it eliminates the excess sodium that has that potential to harden those arteries. So understanding that potassium is very, very important for regulating your blood pressure. Now, one key thing that I have to also mention every time we talk about potassium and blood pressure is understanding. I have to provide understanding for the individuals that may be dealing with kidney issues or have some type of potassium restrictions because of, they might have some type of potassium dietary restriction placed by their doctor, which largely comes from some type of kidney dysfunction as well. So understand, if you're dealing with kidney issues and you're on a low potassium diet, this particular strategy, the whole fruit and salad challenge, it has to be constructed in a specific way for you. Now, I didn't go through the whole process for this individual because you're dealing with a more of a degenerative stage of high blood pressure. So this particular series of the 7-day fruit and salad challenge is for the individuals that are more in the constructive form, meaning that the high blood pressures are more of a warning sign and they're not in the degenerative stages where the kidney issues are starting to occur and all the other things that come behind it. So if you're dealing with kidney issues, I highly suggest that you don't participate in the 7-day fruit and salad challenge because your diet looks a lot different when it comes to the types of foods that you're consuming through this process. So that's just a warning for the individuals that are dealing with kidney issues. Now, when it comes to the next step with potassium, I want to go over potassium supplementation, because one thing about it, when you're at a doctor and they diagnose you with blood pressure issues and they see a potassium deficiency, they typically prescribe you a potassium supplement. And for most individuals, that potassium supplement just doesn't get them over that hump. Reason it doesn't do that is because that potassium supplement, it lacks all the other essentials that the body needs to properly utilize it. So one thing about potassium is that you also need magnesium and along with other enzymes and nutrients to activate it so it can be properly absorbed. But when you're taking a supplement, supplements lack the fiber and the water and the other vitamins and minerals and enzymes. It's just a pill. Pills do not work the same way as whole foods, because when you eat a whole food in its whole natural form, how it's been placed on the earth for you, it contains everything that it needs. It's prepackaged the way that it needs to be. The potassium, the magnesium, the calcium, the sodium, the zinc, all those essentials are already in there. The antioxidants, as well as the fiber and the water, and all those enzymes that are needed by the body as a whole to properly utilize it. But most individuals just taking a potassium supplement, their body's wasting the majority of it because you don't have everything to properly utilize it. So understanding that supplementation is only going to take you so far, but eating more of the whole food is going to provide you that foundation that you need to help keep you moving in the right direction. So now we're going to talk about some of the various symptoms and side effects of low potassium that's going to help you be able to identify some of the symptoms that can come with this type of deficiency. So number one is going to be muscle weakness. Potassium plays a crucial role in muscle function, including contraction and relaxation. When potassium levels are low, it can cause muscle weakness, fatigue, and cramping. Number two, irregular heartbeat. Potassium is essential for maintaining a normal heart rhythm. Low potassium levels can disrupt the electrical impulses that regulate the heart, leading to irregular heartbeats and palpitations. Fatigue and weakness. Inadequate potassium can contribute to overall fatigue and weakness, impacting energy levels and physical stamina. Number four, constipation. Low potassium levels may result in decreased intestinal motility, leading to constipation and digestive discomforts. Understanding that when you eat more potassium-rich foods, it provides you nutrients and minerals on all levels, and it's going to help eliminate those types of symptoms and occurrences that you may be experiencing. Number five, numbness and tingling. Potassium is involved in nerve signaling and maintaining proper nerve function. Low levels of potassium can cause numbness, tingling sensations, or a feeling of pins and needles in the extremities. Number six is muscle cramps. Number seven, the increase in blood pressure. Potassium helps regulate blood pressure levels. Insufficient potassium intake can contribute to high blood pressure and can cause your blood pressure issues to continue to get worse. So the role of potassium is very, very important when it comes down to blood pressure. Now, the list of potassium-rich foods, I got them categorized inside of the book from the form of fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and the leafy greens fall up under the vegetable categories for everyone that are following along. And the best way to have these are always going to be in a fresh, raw form. That's going to continue to allow you to get over that hump to keep going. So if you have any questions about potassium, feel free to drop them inside of the chat. And our next up, we're going to go into magnesium. We're going to understand magnesium. And magnesium is another big one because magnesium is involved in many functions throughout the body. And most people understand or hear about magnesium through magnesium supplementation. One of the biggest questions that I get is, well, what type of magnesium should I take? Or how should I do this? But we want to understand that our ultimate goal when it comes down to our health and correcting our blood pressure issues is to not be reliant upon an outside source for our health. I don't want to go to the drugstore every day and buy some I don't want to have to go to the drugstore every time my magnesium supplement or whatever type of pill runs out, because now I'm dependent on this particular item to help me do that. And this is some shea butter I had later on. But I don't want to be dependent on outside item just to maintain my health, because what happens when it runs out? What am I going to do then? Or what happens when your body starts adjusting to what you're doing? Because your body will adjust to what you're doing, and it will require that you take more and more and more until eventually it just doesn't work the same way. So understanding how to correct these issues naturally is going to be the best bet. And I do understand that some people may want or need supplementation to start out. And the only reason why I don't lean into supplementation a lot more is because early on in my training programs that I used, I saw individuals get comfortable with supplementation, and that's the last thing you want to do, because again, your body will adjust to it. I watch individuals take a potassium supplement or magnesium supplement, and their blood pressure come down 10 points. And before you know it, they stop doing the other lifestyle things that are more beneficial, that's going to allow them to build those health promoting habits. Because if you see your blood pressure come down 10 points and you're hanging out in the 119s, 120s, you're going to feel good about what you're doing. And then you get a little bit relaxed and then think like, yeah, I could eat this, I could do that. My blood pressure look good. I got my supplements, I'm going to be all right. And that's so dangerous for a lot of individuals that are dealing with these problems. Because again, that supplement is just a band-aid. It's a temporary band-aid that's helping you mask a problem. Your problem is still there. You didn't fix anything. You're masking it. And as long as you continue to mask it, that band-aid is going to slide right off, and then boom, your blood pressure is going to be up. You're going to try to reach for those supplements again, no response. And then you're going to be left in a situation where your blood pressure is an overburdening problem and you have no idea what to do about it. So understanding that, making dietary and lifestyle changes and understanding that these types of strategies will help you build a foundation to help to get to the root cause of the problem. And now, instead of reaching for a supplement or pill or whatever type of whatever, now you can start to live in a health promoting way and eating the foods naturally, consistently, that's going to do that job for you. Why do I have to depend on a supplement when I can just eat some fresh fruits or fresh vegetables that are packed with these nutrients that are going to do these things for me? So that's kind of where I'm at with supplementation. I'm not totally against it. I understand some people need it, but when it comes to building that foundation, you have to build that first and understand where you're at and what you need to do to get going. So we'll talk about magnesium a little bit deeper. Let's see if we got any potassium questions in there, and we'll keep going from there. Anyone asking about joining the challenge? I do apologize, but the challenge is closed. We closed out the challenge on Saturday, and we're not taking anyone in, but feel free to continue to listen. That way you can get the information as much as you can and get going. But we are having another challenge that's coming up in the next 7 days, which is going to be the pressure purge challenge, and we're going to keep going from there. So I see a lot of questions there, but not too many of them that ties into what we're doing. We'll come back to those and go from there. All right, so we're at magnesium right now. Now, we're going to dive into magnesium. We talked a little about magnesium supplementation, and we're going to go from there. So magnesium, as an essential mineral, plays a vital role in maintaining heart health and managing high blood pressure. This versatile nutrient is involved in numerous physiological processes that contribute to cardiovascular well-being. Here's a closer look at the connection between magnesium and high blood pressure. Now, number one thing about magnesium is this. Magnesium controls the functions, or it regulates all of the other minerals that are involved in the blood pressure regulation process. Magnesium controls potassium, magnesium controls calcium, magnesium controls sodium, magnesium controls your zinc, magnesium controls all those things, as well as thousands of other functions that are as well as thousands of other functions that are done by different enzymes in the body. So when you're deficient in magnesium, it throws everything in the haywire. And that's why you hear so much about magnesium can fix this, or magnesium helps with sleep, or magnesium helps you with constipation, or magnesium helps with this, because magnesium is involved in doggone near everything. So understanding if you're dealing with a magnesium deficiency, this can really cause a domino effect. You find yourself tired, sleepy, exhausted, can't sleep when you're sleepy, constipated. You start to see all these different effects. So understanding how to correct these magnesium deficiency, this magnesium deficiency is gonna help you when it comes down to your overall health. And again, that's the big picture. Correcting blood pressure issues is about improving your overall health, because you don't fix your blood pressure without fixing what's going on internally. You have to be willing to become a better version of yourself, making more health promoting choices, living in a more healthier way or more health conscious way. Because when you start making these choices and living in this type of way, you start to see the blood pressure numbers come down. The body strengthens and builds itself up and becomes more resilient. Blood pressure comes down, and now you reduce your reliance on those toxic prescription pills. So lifestyle is the way to go. So when it comes to magnesium, blood pressure regulation, magnesium helps regulate blood pressure by promoting the relaxation of the blood vessels. It supports vasodilation, which reduces resistance to blood flow and helps lower blood pressure levels. Sufficient magnesium intake is associated with better blood pressure control. Muscle and nerve function. Magnesium is essential for proper muscle and nerve function, including the relaxation of smooth muscles and blood vessels. I think my screen just glitched a little bit, but if you guys are still there, just put a 1 inside of the chat so I can make sure that we're okay. So if you can still hear me, still can see me, put a 1 inside of the chat. That way I can know we're all good, and I'm just going to keep going. Okay, I see the ones coming in. All right, cool. So muscle and nerve function. Magnesium is essential for proper muscle and nerve function, including the relaxation of smooth blood vessels, the smooth muscle and blood vessels. Adequate levels help prevent excessive constriction of the blood vessels, maintaining healthy blood pressure. Now, one of the biggest symptoms one of the biggest things that I experienced, and a few other people that I spoke with about their blood pressure experience, is twitching in the blood vessels. Maybe mine was in my nose. I got it in my leg for a while when I was dealing with several issues. In my arm, I just feel those nerve twitchings. I'll be sitting still, maybe doing something or doing nothing, and I'll feel the nerve twitching just every so randomly. It just happens. And this is partly related to this can be related to a magnesium deficiency. And understanding that your body gives you subtle signs about, these deficiencies and things that are happening, but a lot of time we write them off because it might not necessarily cost us any pain and we don't feel bad, but we might notice our nose twitch in certain situations, or we might feel our arm twitch and we just kind of shake it off a little bit and we kind of go through, just move forward. So understanding that your body talks to you in many different ways, but understanding your body language is going to help you get better at deciphering what it tells you. Because although they say high blood pressure is a silent killer, there's a lot of language that your body's telling you about this condition. But many of us are so detached from our bodies that we don't understand a lot of these changes. We don't know how to decipher these things that are happening, and we just contribute it to us getting older, or our everyday life. Oh, it's just happening. I'm just a little tired, or what have you. But we have to understand these little things that are going on. So number 3, inflammation and arterial health. Chronic inflammation and arterial stiffness can contribute to hypertension and cardiovascular disease. Magnesium has anti-inflammatory properties and helps improve arterial health by reducing inflammation and promoting flexibility of the arteries and the wall of the arterial walls. So just like how potassium softens the walls of the blood vessels, magnesium works in similar ways as well, helping to reduce the inflammation. Because when you're dealing with blood pressure issues, there's a low-grade inflammation that's going on all throughout the body. And this inflammation causes the blood vessels to constrict. And that innermost lining of your blood vessels, those endothelial cells that I speak about quite often, those cells are getting damaged as that inflammation is continuing throughout the body. The blood vessels constrict, that inflammation gets worse. Those cells, which are supposed to be side by side lining that artery, they start to rub up and damage each other. And the main job of these cells is to produce more nitric oxide, which is a molecule that dilates and widens the blood vessels. They're supposed to stay nice and tight to keep the blood going through the blood vessels nice and smooth. And they also supposed to keep things from getting into the interior body from the blood vessels. But when they're all constricted and being damaged, they start to move out of place. And now this contributes to the blood pressure issues. But when you consume more magnesium in the form of whole foods, it causes those blood vessels to relax. That inflammation starts to die down, and now those cells can start to rejuvenate themselves. And on top of that, you're giving them more of the essential vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and enzymes that it needs to function at a higher level. So now they start to revamp and start to producing more nitric oxide, and they're doing their job better. And this all translates to a better blood pressure. So understanding that all these things are so connected, and this, you can't have one without the other. So making these types of dietary changes allows for everything to line up. That way, when it comes down to your health, everything is running nice and smoothly. Number 4, electrolyte balance. Magnesium works closely with other electrolytes. Remember, we talked about how magnesium manages and regulates all these other essential minerals. Magnesium works closely with other electrolytes such as potassium and calcium to maintain balance in the body. This balance is essential for proper nerve signaling, muscle contraction, and other cardiovascular function. To ensure optimum heart health and blood pressure management, it's important to include magnesium-rich foods into the diet. Good dietary choices of good dietary sources of magnesium includes the leafy greens, the whole grains, of fresh fruits and vegetables. These are all those essentials that's part of the 7-day fruit and salad challenge. And that's why we're implementing 3 to 5 servings of fresh fruits and 1 large salad with the combination of those greens. Those things are going to help you build the foundation. That's what it's all about, getting that foundation together, rebuilding that structure. And once you get that going, we're going to continue moving into the right direction, compounding these different tactics and strategies. That way we can get to the root cause of the problem. So low magnesium levels, also known as hypomagnesemia, can result in various side effects and symptoms. Here are some common manifestations of low magnesium. Muscle weakness and cramps. Magnesium is essential for proper muscle function and relaxation. Inadequate magnesium levels can lead to muscle weaknesses, twitches, spasm, and cramps. And remember, I spoke about the muscle twitches in my nose and my arms and different areas. Those are all signs of deficiencies. Like they're so subtle and so small, may not feel like much, but those are all subtle signs of what's going on inside of the body. And when you start to understand them and notice them and learn them, and then you start implementing these health promoting tactics, you'll notice that, man, I noticed my nose ain't been twitching for a while, or my muscle spasms have been kind of lessening up on me. You start to feel those differences, and that shows how you're moving in a health promoting direction and overcoming some of these challenges that you may be experiencing. Fatigue and weaknesses. Low magnesium can contribute to overall fatigue, weakness, and a general lack of energy. A lot of people are experiencing those things. They think I've had several individuals that complain about, man, I go to sleep on time, 9, 10 o'clock. I sleep 7, 8 hours. I wake up, I still feel tired. It's a sign. These are all signs of deficiencies and issues that are going on. And until you get to the root cause of them, these issues are going to continue to persist because your body's lacking the things that it needs. And this challenge is designed to provide you with those essentials. As long as you continue to document your journey, you will be able to understand and see where things started to change and get better, where your blood pressure changed, where the muscle spasm changed, where your digestion changed, the constipation went away. All those things started to get better, and this is where you're improving your health to ultimately correct your blood pressure issues. And this is how you work your way off of those prescription pills. But you should definitely document your journey, communicate with your doctor about what you're doing, and this is going to guide you through this process. Number 3, irregular heartbeat. Magnesium plays a critical role in maintaining a normal heart rhythm. Insufficient magnesium levels can disrupt the electrical signals in the heart, potentially leading to palpitations, arrhythmias, or an irregular heartbeat. And this is where, this is the only time I will always recommend magnesium supplementation. Where individuals experiencing heart palpitations, I know when I've experienced heart palpitations, it's scary. I don't like heart palpitations. When I was experiencing them, I was looking for everything in the world to try and fix this type of problems. And usually when you speak to the doctor, they tell you, well, this is what comes with the issues that you're dealing with, and they may prescribe a supplement for you, or give you another drug to try to help manage the issue. So if for individuals that experiencing heart palpitations, a magnesium supplement, a magnesium glycinate, which was the one that I consumed when I was dealing with this problem back in the day, this is a supplement that can help ease that. But the main thing is you want to make sure that you're still doing the work to get to the bottom of it. The supplement is going to ease that and eliminate that palpitation, but it's not going to fix your health. So making sure that you're doing all the other things and living in a health promoting direction, this is going to continue to allow you to get better, because we don't just want to band-aid the issue. We want to get better, feel better, and get back to living, taking care of our wives and our kids and our businesses without, you know, the discomforts or the fear of having a heart attack or something bad happening to us. So understand it's all about the things that you're doing. Your blood pressure issues are largely related to your day-to-day choices, your diet and your lifestyle choices. So, you know, supplementation in this particular sense can help you eliminate that discomfort, but you still want to continue to build and correct the issue through lifestyle changes. Number 4, nervous system disorders. Magnesium is involved in nerve function and transmission. Low magnesium levels may cause symptoms such as irritability, mood changes, anxiety, and even neurological disorders in severe cases. Number 5, poor appetite and nausea. Low magnesium can lead to a decreased appetite and a feeling of nausea, which may result in unintended weight loss or difficulty maintaining a healthy diet. Number 6 is weak bones. Magnesium is necessary for maintaining proper bone health. Inadequate magnesium levels can contribute to decreased bone density and an increased risk of osteoporosis. And number 7 is abnormal blood pressure. Now, one thing I want to speak about is this. This is very, very important. And I highly suggest that you guys write this down. That way, the next time you go to your doctor's, you can request this specific test. So a magnesium deficiency is one of the hardest deficiencies to diagnose. Typically, when a doctor diagnoses you with a magnesium deficiency, that deficiency is so severe that it actually popped up on a standard blood test. Typical magnesium deficiencies don't really pop up on a standard blood test. So this one test that can help you through this process to diagnose if you have a magnesium deficiency is called the red blood cell mineral test. And most doctors do have a hard time finding this test because it's not a test that they use. Most cardiologists typically use it more than your general practitioner. But when it comes down to the red blood cell mineral test, what this test does is this. It doesn't check the serum like the standard blood test does. The red blood cell mineral test actually tests the blood cells. So it checks the blood cells to actually see how they're utilizing the different minerals that are necessary for bodily functions. The thing about magnesium is this. Magnesium isn't just floating around aimlessly inside of your body in the bloodstream, and it's not just floating around. Magnesium is one of the most common minerals found inside of the body, and it needs to be used in all these different places. So it's not just in your serum. When you do a standard blood test, they test the serum, and this is the reading that they typically give you when they give you your paperwork, the standard blood test. But when you do the red blood cell mineral test, it tests the actual red blood cell, and it looks inside to see how they're utilizing these minerals. And when you do the red blood cell mineral test, it pinpoints the deficiency, whether it's a potassium, a magnesium deficiency, or whatever. It pinpoints that and say, hey, these cells are deficient in magnesium, or they're not properly utilizing this magnesium or the potassium or what have you. And this can help your doctor better see a deficiency. But some of these deficiencies don't necessarily come up on the standard blood test. Because again, think magnesium. 2% of magnesium is floating around inside of the serum. Only like 2%. The rest, 98%, is being used in specific places. The heart is using it. The heart is a muscle that needs magnesium on a high level. That's why when you're dealing with palpitations and other issues, it shows a magnesium deficiency. The heart's not getting the magnesium that it needs, so you're developing an irregular heartbeat that's contributing to the problem. So understanding the red blood cell mineral test is a test you can request from your doctor to help you get to the bottom of this type of issue. Now, when your doctor says, what's a red blood cell mineral test? I've never heard of that, which you're probably going to hear. I've seen many of my clients ask about this test, and doctors say, I don't know what it is. Give me a code, and I can look it up for you. This is the code. RBC, and the particular mineral is going to come after it. And what that means is RBC, red blood cell mineral. It's going to say potassium, magnesium, or whatever type of mineral that he's actually searching for. RBC is the code, and the particular mineral will come up behind it. When they put it in a system like that, it shows the standards behind the red blood cell mineral test, and whatever mineral that they're particularly looking for will come up behind it. One thing about doctors and hospitals and other places, they use a lot of different codes to mean different things. One hospital might have one set, the next hospital might have another set. Or you might end up going to an independent lab or something, they're gonna have another set. So understanding what the foundation looks like and how to identify it is gonna be very, very important. And RBC, red blood cell, RBC and the mineral is gonna be the best way to identify it. It's gonna help your doctor that probably never heard of it, never utilized the test, find it. And don't be surprised when your doctor say, I've never heard it. It happens. Doctors go to school to learn certain things and some stuff doesn't come up. There's thousands of tests out there, newer ones that came out, different things that have been released, different tools. Every doctor doesn't know everything, but the part of the process is advocating for yourself and educating yourself about what you can do to get better. Your health is in your hands. Your body is yours. It belongs to you. So why aren't you working together with your doctor to help you solve this problem? So when you bring this to the table, like, hey doc, I've learned about a red blood mineral test and I'm interested in getting this done to figure out if I'm having any other type of deficiency. When you bring that to the table, now your doctor's like, oh, okay, cool. Either they know or they don't know. If they have a problem, identify it. Tell them, okay, this is what it looks like. This is what you can search for. And now it continues to keep the process moving forward. But if you just go there and let your doctor dictate what they're going to do, what they're going to give you, how much of the drug they're going to prescribe you without advocating for yourself, this is going to put you in a bubble. And 95% of the Americans that are dealing with high blood pressure are trapped in this bubble, this pharmaceutical loophole that continues with the progression of blood pressure issues. People start out with hydrochlorothiazide. That's the doctors go to. Oh, we're going to give you some hydrochlorothiazide. We're going to give you this water pill to help you when it comes down to your blood pressure. You start out there, you think, oh, it's just a water pill. It ain't nothing. Now, 3 to 4 years pass, blood pressure starts to continue to climb because your body's gotten used to the water pill and the water pill no longer works. They're going to either increase the dosage of what you're consuming or they're going to say, oh, wow, this is interesting. The blood pressure is getting bad. Let me go ahead and give you a calcium channel blocker now. Now you're taking multiple medications because the water pill or the pill didn't solve the problem. They band-aided the issue. And this is where it gets really bad because a lot of times we take a water pill, the blood pressure gets better, and we think we're in the clear because the number is coming down. But regulating or correcting blood pressure issues is not about controlling the number. It's about improving the lifestyle, the way that you're living. And when you improve the lifestyle, blood pressure issues go away. So understanding that should empower you to make health promoting choices and live in a health promoting manner. And this is how you get to the root cause of the blood pressure issues. So the red blood cell mineral test is a test that you guys can definitely request from your doctor. And this is going to give you more insight on any potential deficiencies. When it comes to the foods that are high in magnesium, one thing about this is, one thing that's important in this is that magnesium levels can fluctuate based on the soil, if it's organic, where it came from. It can fluctuate. It always changes. But the main thing is this: eating more leafy greens, the Swiss chard, arugula, kale, bok choy, beet greens. All those are high. They have high levels of magnesium. And if you get the organic version, which is usually like $2.50 for the stalk, they're pretty convenient to have around. You can have them in a lot of different ways. I like to have them in salads every day. And sometimes I even use them to saute them in different vegetables as I make a cooked meal as well. So it's a lot of different things you can do with them. But incorporating more of them into your diet is going to catapult you when it comes down to improving your magnesium levels to correct these issues that you're dealing with. So I got the fruits listed here in order, as well as the vegetables and the nuts and seeds that are high in magnesium. And the best thing to take from this is consume them in their raw form. And this is going to provide you with the highest quality of vitamins and minerals when it comes down to correcting your blood pressure and improving your overall health. So we got 5 minutes left. That 8:30 came real fast, right? We got 5 minutes left. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna try to go back through them real quick. And let's see. Let's see. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them in, and that way I can go ahead and answer them for you, and we can get as far as we need. I see a lot of ones. I'm trying to scroll past the ones. Back to the one. Can I say? Want to say hi? Come on, say hi. Say hi. Hi. All right. See. Hi. All right. Go ahead. Go back where I was now. Bye. Come on. Kids always make their way out sometimes. How can you get the ebook? Again, the challenge has closed off, so the ebook is not available right now for the people that are looking to get the ebook. We had a 7-day window to join the challenge. It's closed off for the next 7 days, but the new challenge, the Pressure Purge challenge, is going to open up soon, and you can feel free to be a part of that one, which you can also get the this ebook as well when that challenge opens up. I definitely apologize for you, but the window was open for you guys to join for them. Here we go. Any questions, feel free to drop them in. Should I be taking my medicine? Yes, you should always take your medication. Reason being, your doctor prescribed you this medicine for a particular reason. They might have seen something and say, okay, I need you to take this and this to help you control whatever issue that you're dealing with. Through this process, you should not stop taking your medication. For most people, the medication is probably the reason why you're still alive, if you're taking multiple medications especially. So continue taking your medication, because the goal is, even though the goal is to get off of prescription pills, you don't want to rush this process. You don't want to be just stop taking the medication, because you need to build your body up to manage the blood pressure properly. And we're implementing the tactics and strategies that's going to allow you to do so. So understanding that the medication that you're taking is stabilizing you at this moment, but the foods that you're consuming is going to build your body back up. And as you document your journey, this is going to allow for you to build your body up, communicate with your doctor, and work your way off of these pills. I never recommend anyone to just stop taking their medication, because again, your doctor prescribed them for a reason. But if you document your journey, communicate with your doctor, do the work, and build your body up, now you run the risk of being over-medicated, because you're improving your health. And the last thing your doctor want to deal with is have you being over-medicated, and now they start to reduce and eliminate your medication. Imagine all right, I'm gonna give you a good strategy right here. Boom. I should have said this when we first came out the door, but I'm gonna start like this. So right now, today, I want you guys to write this down. Right now, today, tomorrow, what you're gonna do is call your doctor and schedule a doctor's appointment. And you want to schedule this doctor's appointment for about 45 days out. 45 days from today, schedule yourself a doctor's appointment. Don't matter the last time you've been to the doctor or whatever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you went to the doctor today. Schedule another doctor's appointment 45 days out. If you're looking to get off of blood pressure medication as fast as possible, this is what you need to do. Schedule a doctor's appointment tomorrow for 45 days out. For the next 45 days, continue through this process, following the steps that I'm giving you. And you're going to go through this process. Number one, document your journey, because having a folder, a journal, a binder with the tactics and strategies that you're doing, you're recording your blood pressure, recording your weight, understanding your BMI, and documenting everything. This is going to give you a paper trail. Not only are you going to have a paper trail for yourself, when you schedule your doctor's appointment, if you've been recently, they're going to see where you last were at. If you were 230 pounds and your blood pressure was 155, over 96 or 100, they're going to know all this stuff. But now you're starting a paper trail of the beginning of your journey. You're going to document everything that you're doing. You're going to document your blood pressure that you're taking and the strategies that you're implementing, how you're feeling, what's going on. And this is going to create a pattern. You're going to see the trend of your blood pressure starting to stabilize. You're going to see when you do something bad, the blood pressure starts to go up. When you get back on track and be consistent, it's going to start coming down. You're going to start to see the trend. So scheduling that doctor's appointment, documenting your journey, is going to give you the foundation to present to your doctors. Hey, doc, I'm doing this, and this is the results that I'm getting. And I want you to analyze this, because my goal is to get off of pharmaceutical medications. And verbally communicating with your doctor about what your goal is a very big part of it. Reason being, you might have a doctor. There's two types of doctors, matter of fact. You might have a doctor that say, oh, you're going to be on prescription pills the rest of your life. And I'm pretty sure many individuals have heard this. If your doctor told you you're going to be on prescription pills for your blood, for high blood pressure for the rest of your life, put a 2 inside of the chat. Many people have heard this. Many people have experienced it. Put a 2 inside of the chat. So you're going to have a doctor that's either going to tell you that, or you're going to have a doctor that's going to tell you this. Well, Mr. Golden, if you plan on getting off of prescription pills, this is what I need you to do. I might need you to lose 20 pounds. I might need you to bring your cholesterol down. I might need you to bring the blood pressure down to this number. And if you can do that for me in this time period, I can start pulling medication away from you. And once you start communicating with your doctor about what you're trying to do, you're going to be able to understand or get the help that you need, as well as the motivation to get there. A lot of doctors just write people off and say, hey, take these pills. You're going to take these for the rest of your life. This is because they don't believe most people have the ability to make lifestyle changes. They don't see people get well. Doctors are in the doctor's office all day. They see hundreds of patients each week. All of them are getting worse. Nobody's getting better. They don't expect you to get well. So you have to show in and be the difference maker. You have to make the choice. Change happens when you make the choice to do better. When you start making the right choices, eating healthier, living in a more health promoting way, you start to create a pattern. That pattern builds you back up and creates better health within you. And this pattern is going to lead you down the pathway of correcting your blood pressure issues. So start with documenting the journey. Start with following the different tactics and strategies. And over the next 6 weeks, we're going to be live on YouTube going through this whole process. So make sure you sign up through the challenges. That way you can understand the different tactics and strategies and build on it. So start off documenting the journey. The fruit and salad challenge is there for you. We're going to be here the next couple days going through this whole process. Implement the different tactics and strategies. When you implement those things, you're building health promoting habits. Your health is a direct representation of the choices you've been making, the lifestyle you've been living. And in order to overcome the health challenges, you must create a health promoting lifestyle for yourself. So it's 8:32 and I actually went over time a little bit. I don't want to drag you guys a lot longer than I need to, because we got the rest of the week to actually be here. So we went over potassium and magnesium. And we'll be back tomorrow at 7:30 again. I'll make sure I send out the notification email to everybody as well. And we'll pick up where we left off at and continue through this process. So again, sorry for abruptly ending, but I don't like to go over time too much, but we got plenty of time to keep going. But peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow and we'll keep going, okay?